This video will be a tutorial on Clipchamp for beginners. Now, we are going to go over what Clipchamp is, how to sign up to Clipchamp, and how to use it to edit your videos. Now, to begin, what is Clipchamp? So Microsoft Clipchamp is a free, user-friendly web-based video editor and screen recorder integrated into your Windows 11 PC. So as you can see here, we are in their website at clipchamp.com. So how do you go here? You just search for Google, whatever browser you're using, search for Clipchamp, and it's going to be the first option here unless they have a promotion, which it's going to see here. It's going to be here for ads, right? So once you go here to Clipchamp, you can either sign in if you already have an account or try for free. For this video, we are going to try for free. So let's do that. And as you can see here, you can sign up and create an account either through using your Microsoft account if you have one, with your email, sign in Clipchamp for work or school accounts, or the easiest way to do so is just to use your Google account. So we're going to do that right now. All right, we are now signing in. And as you can see, we've moved the personal Microsoft sign in, so you can no longer use Google Access Clipchamp for personal accounts. Your videos and account settings are unaffected by to continue creating videos. You'll need to sign in with your personal Microsoft account. So we are not going to edit this out because we are learning together, right? So you need to connect Microsoft account. If you have one, just connect it to your Clipchamp account. All right, so we have signed in to Clipchamp using our Microsoft account. Once you are here, you just click continue on the bottom right corner, edit anywhere and store safely, click continue. As you can see here, you're all set. We are saving your projects to OneDrive. So show me what's new. Edit your videos from different computers and work with others easily. Share your videos effortlessly so you can send your videos to your friends, family, and collaborators without extra steps necessary. And your work stays private and protected. Click done. So once you have signed in, this is going to be your workstation. This is going to be your dashboard. Now we're going to go through each and every single one by one, right? So to your left-hand side, this is going to be your main menu. For now, you have your home, and which just shows you everything here. So yeah, this is where you can create a video. This is where you can also create a video using their AI, right? And then you have get started with these easy edits. So you could actually record yourself, so you can try it for free. Text to speech, you can try it again. And then you can get inspired with a template. So they offer templates for YouTube, Instagram, other social media websites, and just pretty much themes in general. And if you want to check, you can just click on this arrow here to see what type of templates you have. And if you want to see all templates, just click here on all templates like so. And there is actually a popular category here. And for YouTube, Instagram, intro outro templates, gaming, so on and so forth. So that is templates, right? So we go back to home, right? And if you scroll down, this is going to be where your videos is at. So we have a few here that we've done before. There you go. And you can actually install a desktop app here on the bottom. So if you want to do that, click on this and this pop-up will appear. So open Microsoft Store. There you go. You can just click Microsoft Clipchamp. And it's going to open the app itself, right? If you have Windows 11, you don't really need to download anything because as you can see here, this is the tab and this is the app itself, the software itself, right? So we expand that and it's pretty much the same thing, right? So for now, we are going to close this and we are just going to use the app right now. So again, it's going to be the same thing, right? But here you have brand kits now. So brand kits, every video is on brand with brand kit. Create consistent video content. Set your brand fonts, colors, and logos. So this is where you can get brand kits. But the thing is, you need to upgrade to have access to these premium tools, right? So if you click upgrade, like so, you're going to have an option here, right? Stay at the end. And you're going to see the plans here for Microsoft and just go with that. But we're not going to do that right now because we are going to show you how to edit videos. So how do you edit videos? How to use this compared to like Premiere Pro, CapCut, DaVinci Resolve. We are going back to home, right? So in home, of course, there's going to be an option here, create a new video or create a video with AI. But we're going to stick with create a new video because that's what you came here for, right? So to do that, we just create a new video. So by clicking this, there you go. So it's going to be somewhat in between, in my opinion, Premiere Pro's workstation and CapCut. So it looks like this, right? So you can import media here. All right, so we are now here on the Clipchamp interface. So this is going to look similar. So this is going to be our screen, just like in Premiere Pro, just like in CapCut. This is going to be our timeline over here on the bottom. And on the left-hand side, this is going to be our main menu here. So as you can see here, Video Project 1. And here on the upper left corner of the screen, it says App Launcher. If you hover your mouse or cursor, if you click on this, it's going to show you this pop-up with your other Microsoft 365 apps. So to minimize this, click on this again. And by default, you're going to be on My Media. So this is pretty much where we are going to import all our files, our raw files, audio files, so on and so forth. So if you click here, you can just import your media. So we're going to do that right now. So these are the files, these are the video files we are going to be using. So click open to upload them. And as you can see, they are going to be uploaded one by one. There you go. And they're going to have their own preview, so you'll know what video files or which audio files they are, right? So if you look at the import media file option again, there is a drop down here. So if you click on this pop-up will appear. So browse files is our default option here, but you can also get files from your OneDrive, from your Google Drive, from Dropbox, and even from Xbox. So that is going to be our My Media option. Next up, the second option is record and create. So you can screen and camera. You can record through your screen and camera, or your camera alone, your screen alone, your audio alone, and you can actually create text-to-speech here, which we are not going to touch on because this is going to be the premium option. You need to buy Microsoft 365 for that. So to begin, we're going to click on screen and camera. This pop-up will appear. So it's going to say record your screen. So use available camera. So we can just use our Logitech Capture, but right now it is turned off. But I'm just going to show you the option available and our mouse. 3, 2, 1. Our mic is also being picked up, so you can just choose whatever microphone you want, and then just click allow while visiting the site, allow this time, never allow, whatever option you choose. So that is going to be the screen and camera. It's going to be the same for camera alone, so we run into issue, just click continue. You need to allow your cameras and your microphone to be enabled in Clipchamp. Screen is the same thing. It's going to show you the same thing. So select a screen to record. So if you click on that, you have an option here. There you go. Chrome tab, window, entire screen if you want. There you go. So choose whatever you want. That is screen, right? And then audio. So again, you're just gonna choose the microphone you want for your audio. Make sure that the microphone is turned off or it is plugged in properly. And then content library is pretty much other assets you can actually use. But again, most of these are behind a paywall. So you have shapes here. And if you want to add, just click on the plus sign, right? Add timeline. And as you can see, you have a square here. There you go. If you can actually do Control Z to remove that. Same thing for other editing software. So you have foods, nights, all content. You have music, annotations, videos, stickers, so on and so forth. And you can actually choose here from the Dropbox. You have all audio, music, sound effects, visuals. You have annotations, shapes, stickers, videos, images, backgrounds, frames, and borders, overlays, and Giphy, right? So these are GIFs. So it's also just use the search bar and just type in whatever you're looking for. So content library. Templates is going to be the same thing. So this is kind of like somewhere in between CapCut and or any other editing software for that matter, and Canva. On your PC if you're using Windows 11, and this is pretty much the same thing where when we saw the website earlier before we opened our software, our editing software to begin with. So TikTok, social media, so on and so forth, and then text. Of course, this is going to be where you're gonna be adding plain text or captions for your editing for your video when you're editing it. So you have text styles here, you have title styles. So if you hover it, you're gonna see the effects. There you go. These are the effects, depending on which one you want to use, right? And then you have two line. So again, there you go. These are good for like in between transitions. or even for titles if you want. There you go. So there's a lot of them, right? And then next is transition. This is going to be where we are going to just use our transition for each cut of our video. So you have fades and blurs, you have wipes, you have zooms and spins, you have pushes, you have glitches, and you have 3D transitions, as you can see here. And if you want to see the transition, how it looks like, you can just hover your mouse to see what it looks like. There you go. It is glitching. And again, if you hover your mouse or your cursor to the ones with the diamond, with the gold diamond here, it says upgrade to use this content, which means, again, like what I said, a lot of the options for Clipchamp is going to be behind a paywall. You need to buy the subscription for Microsoft 365, right? But at the same time, you can actually not do that if you want to use it for simple edits. Now that we have gone through everything, we are going to go back to media and just edit and show you the entire process of how to use Clipchamp. And we are going to do that right now. All right, now that we have the introduction on the back burner, we can now actually edit and use Clipchamp, so I can teach you how to use it, especially if you are a beginner. Now, if you want to put a media file on your timeline, it says here drag and drop, so we do that. So click on one and drop it here, and it's going to be laid out automatically for you. So if you see here, this really looks like CapCut's interface, right? This looks like CapCut's timeline. There you go. So again, if you want to delete or undo this, you can either Control Z on your keyboard, right? Or you can just highlight what you want to delete and then click on or press on delete. There you go. Or as you can see here, you have undo, right? So just undo or redo. Control Z, Control Y, right? There you go. So that is pretty much how we lay out video files or media files on your timeline. Or you can just click here instead of dragging and dropping, you just add to timeline like so, and it's going to be laid out, right? So now that we have something in our timeline, just drag, this to the very start and click play, so you know that it is playing. So that might look static, but it's not. There's a lot of particles floating around. This is a pretty good background video clip. There you go. So just play it. There you go. And here you can actually seek forward or seek backward by 5 seconds. So it's either shift left or shift right. So if I click this, it's going to go back 5 seconds. And if I click shift forward, it's going to go 5 seconds, right? So I'm going to show you, but you probably can't see it because I'm using my keyboard. So click shift right, it's going to go there. Shift left, it's going to go back there, right? So that you can see here, and you're going to see here the time to the millisecond too. There you go. So this is how you line up everything, right? So how do you cut in time in Clipchamp, right? On your timeline. I was going to say on your timeline. If you want to trim the edges, it's pretty easy. You can just like CapCut, you can click this, hold this, and then trim it all the way until the part you want. Now, the tip I'm going to give you, which for some reason a lot of video editors still don't do, is that choose the exact frame using this, right? For example, we want specifically this, so that when we trim it, it's gonna be highlighted by purple. There you go, exactly where you want to clip it, right? Same thing for the other portion. If I want to clip or trim this other tip over here, do the same thing, and if it hits the exact frame, it's going to be highlighted in purple, as you can see here. Now, if you're asking, okay, how do we clip or how do we cut in the middle portion of any clip, right? So we can just, for example, we want to cut here, right? Exactly here in this frame. You want to click on split. This is the scissor icon, like so. It's going to be split, right? Or as you can see, if I hover it again, it's going to be set. It's going to say S. So if I click this portion, click S, it's going to be cut over there. There you go. For Premiere Pro, I know this is C, right? But for Clipchamp, it is, we do that again, S. There you go. That is S. That is how you cut with Clipchamp. Now, if you want to delete something, again, we already showed you how to delete it. Just highlight what you want to delete, press delete. There you go. And if you want to bridge the gap here, right, as you can see here, delete this gap. There you go. It's going to be automatically pushed to where the former frame or former clip is at. But if you're going to have a smaller gap like so, all you need to do is right click, right, and delete all visual gaps like so. There you go. That is how you delete gaps. That is how you trim, and that is how you trim from or cut from the middle portion, right? And if you hover here, AI suggestions, you can actually click on this and auto cut, remove pauses and filler words. But that is a bit iffy. We're not going to do that right now, right? So that is how you cut. All right, next up, if you want to move things around, if you've done clipping or cutting and trimming all your files, it's actually quite easy. All you need to do is just click and drag it where you want it to be placed, as you can see here, and you can actually just move things around. The good thing about this is if you bump the file that you're holding and dragging to the next file, either on the left or right hand side, you can actually, if you go straight all the way, you can just do this, right? But if that's not what you just want to snap it in place, you just bump it a bit and you're gonna see that thin purple line that will put it in place, and just leave it there. Same way with other clips, as you can see, we just need to do that, right? And if you want to just remove the gap, either right click and then delete this gap, or if it's big enough, like what we told you earlier, there is a trash can icon here and it's going to say delete this gap, like so. So now that we have everything in place, this is what we want, right? And the good thing is you can also do this with audio files. So how do you add audio files? Again, you just click on import, right, and just choose whatever file you want. But we already have one imported, as you can see here. You can just drag and drop here where you want, right? Not this one, this one. You can just drag and drop where you want, or you can just like click add to timeline. And as you can see, it's not going to be where you want it. It's going to be where your marker is last placed, as you can see here. And if you want to make it go all the way to the front, again, delete this gap. It's going to be on the front. And if you play your clip, as you can see, it is now playing. And now, again, when it comes to trimming your audio files, it's going to be the same thing as your video files. So you can just, on this one end, you can just do this for however far you want to delete the video or the audio file. There you go. And if you want to delete somewhere in the middle, again, click on the split icon here. There you go. Or press S wherever you want. There you go. And then if you want to delete, just delete everything, right? There you go. So that is how you do with audio files and video files and move them around. It's the same thing for audio files. You want to move them around if you have like a specific BGM or a specific SFX for whatever, however you want to establish the mood or the energy of your video. It's the same thing. Oh, and by the way, there's also an option here, AI suggestions. If you want to click on this, again, remove pauses and filter words. You can do that, but this is for the paid plan, the premium. So you need to buy Microsoft 365 for that. Now that we are here, right now, okay, how do we crop your video files, right? So all you need to do is don't highlight it, because you're not, you can actually highlight it or not. It's the same thing. But if you highlight it, the crop file is going to appear. Click on that, and you can crop it however much you want, right? You can go from left, from the right, from the top, and from the bottom. The good thing about cropping in Clipchamp compared to, say, CapCut or Adobe Premiere Pro is that you're going to see, although a bit, not highlighted, the crop portion that you are cutting out, right? And then click done, so you remove it, right? But if we undo it, it's actually going to be pretty easy to do so again. We do that. If you want, let's not crop. You can actually do it, crop that way, right? And again, this will save you a lot of time, because if you're, for example, if you're using Premiere, this is not going to be available. So you're kind of like you're going to be in a bit of a trial and error kind of thing with Premiere Pro when it comes to cropping, and it's more complicated. But with Clipchamp, it's going to be less complicated than that. And again, if you want to click done, click done. If you want to revert to original, you can do that. You can do so. at the same time. So that is cropping your stuff. There you go. If you click more here, there are options here. You can flip, right? You can flip horizontal or flip vertical. If you want to move, for example, you want upside down, flip horizontal. There you go, right? If you flip vertical, same thing. Or you want to go a separate or a specific angle, there you go. You can do that again. Rotate 90, there you go. So there you can play with this a lot. I've seen videos of this not addressing this, and you can actually click on more options too. When you do that, a new menu here will appear. So fade in, fade out. This is pretty much going to be your transitions, which we are not going to be addressing right now. That's for later, right? So let us minimize that for now. And then if you want to resize the aspect ratio of your video, remove the highlight. So if you're clicking on this, remove don't unclick it or remove the highlight of it by clicking anywhere else, like so. And then click on size here. There's background color and add audio to the auto captions. We don't have that right now. But if you want to resize the aspect ratio of the video you're editing, for example, your raw file is going to be 16 by 9 or 920 by 1080. You want to click on size, and you have some options here. And the good thing about Clipchamp is that if you hover your mouse, as you can see, 16 by 9, which is this one, it's going to show you what it's going to look like. It's highlighted everything because it's actually 16 by 9. If you want vertical, which is TikToks or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, it's going to be 9 by 16. It's the opposite. And as you can see here, right, if you hover it here, you're going to see the file, the video, and the window of it, right? It's smaller. And then if you want square, it's a bit bigger. This is more Instagram and LinkedIn. And they have classic 4x3, social 4x5, cinema 21 by 9, portrait 2x3. Not a lot of people use this anymore. It's just going to be either vertical or wide, right? So if you want vertical, just click on vertical. It's going to crop it like that. And the thing is, you can actually crop it the way you want it, right? You can either crop it to make it smaller, or you could just resize it to make it bigger. But just know that you won't be able to get the entire picture, right? Because again, this video is filmed with the 16 by 9 aspect ratio, 19 by 20, right? FPS. There you go. So that is how you resize everything. So we're going to go back, undo everything, and go back to this. There you go. And here, I want you to see this because this is another important thing, because not a lot of people know how to film properly or use their audio properly. So a lot of times your audio file will have some noise in it. What do you mean noise? Background noise is what I'm talking about. And I'm going to play it out so you can hear how terrible it is.
Test 3. Mic test 1 2 3. Mic test.
So as you can see, it's pretty terrible because I recorded this using my smartphone in front of my fan, right? So you can hear the background noise of the fan. It's pretty bad. So how do we clean this up? It's pretty simple. All you need to do is highlight the specific audio file you want and look towards the right-hand side. There's something that says audio. Click on audio. This slide will appear. You can actually adjust the volume here. And you want to click on detach audio. It's going to detach the audio. It's going to be a separate file that you want to click. So once you click detach audio, the detach audio option is now replaced by noise suppression. All you need to do is click on this to enable it. Once it turns purple, there you go. It means it has already cleaned up the audio. So let's play it again.
Mic test 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3. 3 2 1. Mic.
So as you can see, the background noise is already gone. It's pretty clean, although the audio file itself is still bad because, again, it depends on the type of audio file. You need to have good equipment to make sure that the audio quality is high. So after that, next thing we want to do is to caption our audio. So how do we add captions to our audio file? All you need to do is, again, make sure that you highlight the audio file you want to add captions to. And instead of audio, click on captions on top of it, like so. And there's going to be an option here to 3, 2, 1, click on captions like so. And you're going to see this option says generate auto captions with AI. You need to click on try now. And it's going to show you this pop-up. This is going to tell you plain and simply that it's going to ask you what language the captions will be. So just, by default, just leave it in English. And if you have some cursing on your audio, you can click filter profanity and offensive language if you want, but we don't have that. So just click confirm settings. Now here it's going to, since we've done this before, it's going to automatically process your audio file. As you can see, we already have it. So let's test it out.
Mic test 1 2 3.
There you
Mic
go.
test 1 2 3. 3 2 1.
So it's pretty good. It's pretty accurate, all things considered, right? But it depends on the file size. If your audio is longer, this is going to take a bit longer because a few seconds took me pretty much a minute for it to process. So again, longer file, longer processing time for the AI. So it's pretty good, right? It's actually pretty accurate, all things considered. And if you want to actually just edit the file, all you need to do is hover your mouse or your cursor on the screen here, and you're going to see it's going to be highlighted by a gray box or gray box line. So all you need to do is click on it like so, and you're going to have an option here to change certain things. You can change the color of your text, right? Let's make it yellow. You can make it blue or whatever color you want with this spectrum bar here. So let's go back to white, or you can like choose the font size all the way to 88. There you go. Let's go back to normal. There you go. If you click on the more or three dots here, you're going to see you can actually make it bold, italicized. You can choose the alignment. By default, it's going to be center, which is what you actually want. You can actually choose the font style, light, normal, semi-bold, bold, extra bold. And you can actually change the order, right? Bring to front, bring to back, and so on and so forth. You can actually rotate it. And if you click on more options, it's going to bring you to this page where you can actually change the font style. And as you can see, there's a lot of options here. You can change the size again. Everything is pretty much here. This is going to do the same thing. And if you click on advanced, you can actually change the line height, letter spacing, right? So letter spacing, we can just make it spread out more or make it, just normal, right? And outline, you can click on settings. So width, medium, thick, custom outline if you want. There you go. So that is how you edit your captions. You can customize your captions. There you go. And then when it comes to transitions, so we are going to go to transitions this time. So if you click on, since it says fade here, right? This is transitions now, but we are going to collapse this. So if you choose any file here, right? So for example, we want to click this specific clip, right? We don't have anything here. If we want to edit everything, so transitions is 1, right? So we click on highlight one clip, look towards your left hand side here, right? And there's option here for content library, right? Or templates, there you go, or text, or transitions. Of course, we're going to go with transitions, right? And like what I said earlier when we were breaking down the interface, you can choose your transitions here, and you can actually see if you hover your mouse or your cursor how the transition would work, so that you don't need to like drag and drop, like trial and error. You can actually see how this does. So for example, crossfade, right? There you go. So we click on it and drop it to where we want to have the transition is at. So for example, we want it here. There you go. And it's going to be highlighted by a light purple, somewhat transparent highlight. So if we go here and we play our video, as you can see, it's pretty good. Now, you can actually click on it, right? And click on transition, right? You can actually choose to make the duration faster or longer. There you go. Make it slower. Faster is less. You can expand it to make it slower. So let's go. This is the default, right? If you want to make it faster, we do this. So we've already showed you what it looks like for the default. This is the fast one. If the pace of the song or the video is fast paced, you would want to choose this one, right? But if you're like a more documentary style, storytelling, narration style, you might want to make this a bit longer to have a more settled transition, right? So let's do that again. There you go. It is smooth without actually having to adjust anything, right? So if you want to zoom in, for example, right? We're done with transitions. You can fade and blur, right? You can wipe, right? And again, this wiping, this is pretty much going to be free too, unless you see an icon here, right? If there's like a crown icon, that it is behind the paywall, and you need to get the subscription for Microsoft 365. All right, but if you want to zoom in, if you want to zoom in and zoom out, it's actually quite easy. We want to choose a different clip. Let's choose this guy here. Let's play it. All right, it is zooming out, right? By default, we don't want to use this anyway, right? So again, you need to like be mindful of your files, because sometimes if you're using B-roll like what we got there, this is from Pexels, it's already going to be zoomed out, right? But for this one, it's just panning, right? So we're going to use this again. And other transitions here on the left-hand side, there's going to be a search bar. Let's type in zoom. So if you want to zoom in, click on zoom in and put it here. There we go. And if we click on it, it's going to be zoomed in. There we go. And again, it depends on the duration. You want it to be faster or slower. It's up to you. There we go. It depends. That's how you zoom in. Zoom out is the same thing. Just drag and drop the effect here. After that, you will be fine with the zoom in and zoom out options. Okay. Next up is we are going to show you how to add text on your timeline. So if you want to add text, go to your left-hand side. It says text, right? And you can either just choose whatever here. And like what I said, some here are for titles, some here are for lines. Even the 2-line is going to be for title. If you want to add it, just click on this one. And if we want to play it, there you go. And here, you can just edit here on the right-hand side. You can edit the text, right? So bouncing title. We can do up top, down bottom, right? You can edit it however you want. There you go. You can edit the size, right? You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, however you want. You can change the alignment. You can change the primary color, which is the top portion. Secondary color is going to be the bottom portion. And you can edit where it's going to be positioned, right? You can be in the center by default. You can put it on the upper left, upper right, lower left, lower right, right side, left side, up top. So you can change whatever option, or you can just just drag and just put it wherever you want manually if you want. So that's how you add text to your project. Next up, we got templates. Lastly, we want, for example, we want to check out YouTube, right? So there are options here, right? You can add this. Welcome to my channel if you want to add that, right? So for example, we can just click plus. It's going to be here, right? Now, how do we put this up front? Drag and drop to highlight all three, cut it, right? And push it here all the way to the front. There we go. And then with your mouse wheel, scroll down, and then you can just choose everything, push down. There you go. And then put this is manual, right? There you go. And then just on the gap, right click again, like what we were doing earlier, and click delete this gap. So as you can see, there you go. You've added that. And lastly, if you want to add like shapes, right? You can add shapes. If you want to add a circle, you can click circle. There we go. Over here. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. If you look towards your right-hand side, you can change the color to whatever color you want. You can actually put an outline to it, and you can click settings, make the outline bigger, smaller, custom, make it thicker. The biggest is 10. There you go. And then afterwards, just cobble up everything. If you think you're done, you can actually click export, right? And then click continue anyway. We've noticed a visual gap. So, sometimes you want to have a gap there depending on the artistic, direction you want, but you can click fixed, right? Delete all visual gaps if you want. There you go. After that, you can choose the quality. You can choose 720, 1080, which is the standard, 4K. You can't do that if you're using it for free. You need to be subscribed, but 1080p is already pretty good for YouTube. And you can actually have an option to change the name of the project, and you can actually have the option here to store in the cloud. You don't want to do that, and just click export. There you go. And you just need to wait for it to finish. This might take some time. Again, like what I said, it says 3 minutes for a short video. If you're editing a video for 10 minutes or longer, this is going to take a bit of time, even if you have a very decent PC. And let's just wait for it to finish. All right, it's almost done. There you go. It is going to be automatically downloaded to your PC. As you can see here, it is now done. If we want to play it, let's click on it. There you go. And you're going to see everything that we've done so far. And that is how you use Clipchamp on your PC. That's pretty much it. That's a video. Hope you liked it. Like, comment, share, subscribing. That bell icon. We'll see you on the next video.